Welcome to another episode of the special series of Looking After Nature podcast, where we'll be talking about all things rights of way. My name is Gemma Clinch and I'm here with our usual co-host, Carly Harrod. Hi Carly.
Hi Gemma. So once again, I seem to be up in the north of the county.
Well, you know, it is all about the north.
It is for you, isn't it? And what are we doing up here today?
Well, today we've got the lovely Judy who's come to speak to us. She's one of my path wardens.
And what do path wardens do?
Well, I will tell you. Let's go and speak to Judy.
Okay.
Hi Judy.
Hi Gemma, great to see you again.
Oh, thanks for making the time to come and see us today. We just wanted to talk about obviously volunteering, path wardens, and you do both roles actually, which is brilliant. Just to give everyone a brief understanding of each.
Yep.
You volunteer, so you've come out on different volunteer tasks with the team before.
Yes, I have.
And path wardening, you do local jobs around your area independently.
Yes, that's right.
Awesome. So, I mean, how did you find out about it? What made you want to come and do this?
Well, I took early retirement this year in May, and I wanted to do something volunteering. So I was just looking on Google about volunteering sort of outside countryside stuff, and this came up, and I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to get outside and volunteer and do something different.
Awesome. I mean, since we did the training together, you've been out on quite a few tasks, haven't you?
Yes, I did one at Hurstbourne-Tarrant where we had to put in some steps and a handrail up a really steep hill. And it was amazing. It was such good fun. The wardens brought all of the stuff in a van, and we lugged it all up the hill.
It was hard work, wasn't it?
It was hard work. It was a very steep hill, and you can see why they had to put a footpath in and put the steps in, because it was really steep and quite slippy. And we were put into groups. Some people had already done steps before, so they just got on with the steps because they knew what they were doing. And we were sent off to do other tasks, to try and put the handrail in all the way up. It was an 11 till 3 day.
Yes.
And we did various things in the morning and sat down for a quick lunch, which turned to slightly longer than a quick lunch.
I think everyone was knackered and we were like, right, we've got to get up and get this done.
Well, I think part of it was the views. I mean, we were just
Yes.
sat staring out over Hurstbourne-Tarrant, and it was just beautiful. So that was really lovely. And in the afternoon, there's about 4 or 5 of us thought, right, we can do this.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where there was no talking because everybody knew their own job. Somebody was lifting a piece of wood, somebody was screwing it in, and then somebody was whacking the next post in. And we worked and worked and worked, and I remember Mitch came up and he said, we're finishing this at 3, you're not going to finish? And we just looked at each other and went, yeah, we are.
We are.
And we finished at about 1 minute to 3, and we were all standing at the top cheering, arms in the air, just so excited that we'd managed it, and it looked amazing.
You know, it's lovely to hear it from your perspective, because obviously I was there on the day as a member of staff, and I remember standing back at one point and thinking, wow, everyone has just got it. It's just once it falls into place what your job is and what we're doing, and obviously everyone had done the meet and greet in the morning, and you're becoming more familiar with people, remembering their names. I think that's always the key thing is, God, what's that person called again? But it flowed. And people, I think, really came away with a sense of pride afterwards. I certainly did for all of you, because what we did in a day was incredible.
It was. I think you're right. Everybody had that pride inside. And there was a guy who lived in the village, and he saw it and thought, well, I'm not working today. I might as well pop up. There was a lady who I think was a friend of yours who did the running.
Yes.
So she ran that on a regular basis and thought, well, it's a rubbish path. I want to make it better. So she'd come along, and it was so nice that everybody was just like, just get on and get on, and it was,
I think that's the beauty of volunteering actually. People from different walks of life. We had all types of skill sets there. We had females and we had males. We had people who'd been retired, people who took a day off work for it. We had all kinds of people there for the same goal.
Yes, and everybody had their own job. You know, I was doing the lifting of one of the smaller pieces, but I was also whacking the poles in with a huge.
You were. I remember seeing you at one point going, my goodness, she's got hidden muscles.
Well, I like to get involved. I like to do these sorts of things.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, everybody had their own skill set, and they just went with what they could do, and it was lovely.
It was a great day.
It was a
very
very
good day.
Yeah.
And the parish council are happy. The local community is so happy, and it's just having that feedback afterwards.
Yes,
it's quite special.
Driving down that valley, I always say to whoever I'm with, I did a footpath over there.
Because you can see it from the road. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
That's what I did.
I did that.
Yeah, and it is. Yeah, it's such a really good feeling that you've done something, you've given something back.
And that's exactly what volunteering is for.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is beautiful. And so you've done the handrail. You've also been out with Mitch and Abby, who are our rangers, and you've done a little resurfacing project with them, haven't you?
Yes, yeah. It was just a small one. The other side of Basingstoke.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just a short area that it gets flooded a lot, so they wanted to just lift the footpath up a bit. So people had been down there the day before and done quite a bit of it, but we had a lorry load of sort of hardcore. We just had to wheelbarrow it down, and then we got the whacker plate out, and we were all given a go. Again, such good fun.
Just a smile on your face makes you think you enjoyed the whacker plate.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
I mean, they said, you know, you use it for a bit and then you'll get, you know, vibration white finger, so you want to just do a bit. But because there were like 5 of us, we all had a go, and it's like as soon as your finger started feeling a bit funny, right, okay, now your turn, I'll have a go in a minute. And it was just, yeah, it was really good, and you could see the path afterwards, how it was nice and level, and you know, a proper lovely footpath. And we also, as we were walking up and down there, we took out a whole load of the hedges on the side because it was a little bit encroaching. So we went, when some people were on the whacker plate, we went and did
some loppering.
Yeah.
Nothing more satisfying than loppering sometimes, is there?
I know. And you can look down and think, I can see the whole way down this path now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's volunteering. So that actually gives a really good view to our listeners about the different things that you could be asked to do volunteering. And the beauty of it is, you just choose to book on or you don't want to book on.
Yeah.
If you fancy it, if you don't fancy it.
Yeah, you just get an email saying that there's this job coming up. Do you want to do it? And then you can read and think, well, that one's too far for me, because the north, I mean, I'm quite west of the...
You're kind of near the Wiltshire border, aren't you?
I'm on the Wiltshire border, yeah. So Basingstoke and places to the north, in the north area, can be quite a long way away from me. But you look on the email and you think, yeah, it's only half an hour's drive, I'll do that. Or, you know, it's too far for me, I won't choose it. And it's up to you whether you do or don't. I mean, there was one I think I wanted to do. By the time I looked at it, it was fully booked. Well, more fool me for not picking it earlier, really.
They do get booked up super quickly, I've got to say.
Yeah.
But you know, it's lovely that you've been able to experience quite a few in such a short space of time since you joined us, really, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about your path warning, because you also do look after your local area, don't you? And I know I've sent you a few tasks recently that you've done.
Yes. Yeah. That was an email from you saying, would you like to look at this? It was I can't remember what it was now. It was very
Pentamuse,
close. That's
I
right,
think.
Pentamuse. There was a bridle path post that you really couldn't see, covered in ivy, and the trees had grown over it, and there was some pointers that you couldn't see, and a footpath there was a footpath there, but it was completely covered in sort of 5-foot stinging nettles. So you said, could I do it? And I said, yes, I'll probably do it next Tuesday. So again, this one you can really pick when you want to do it, when you're available, and when the weather's nice.
Absolutely, that is a key thing, actually.
Yes.
I would never expect anyone to go out in the rain.
I don't do them in rain. No, I don't. So that was lovely. I went over and had my day to sort it out. And as I was cutting down the bit around the bridle path, a dog walker came towards me, and she looked at me and went, oh, that's so good. She said, at least I'll be able to see where the signs are now. So, you know, really positive. And I cut it all back and went to the other two. Couldn't quite find the footpath I had to clear out, but eventually got that. And just cleared it all out, and the satisfaction was brilliant. And on the way back, I met the gamekeeper, and he thought I was just looking for the path. So I said what I'd done, and he said, "Oh, it's really nice. Thank you so much for doing that." And it just lifted you. I went away with a smile on my face, and
So you had 2 people say lovely things, the gamekeeper and just a member of the public who thanked you, and actually those little things make your day, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. It was a spring in my step as I walked away from there. It was
good,
really nice.
I mean, just a note from me actually on that, I would, if I'm sending someone to do any major veg clearance, and I would say the stinging nettles should be there for a good half hour or so, and on that person's land in total, you're probably there for a substantial amount of time doing the various clearance work. So I always do let landowners know where I can, if it's possible, that someone will be coming on to do that, because out of courtesy. And obviously the gamekeeper, hopefully, I think would have got the message, and that's why he wasn't so surprised to see you there with some loppers and some secateurs. But I think it's really important actually that landowners are informed, because then everyone's working together, and I think that's the crucial thing. We've got access teams, so that's myself, HCC, we've got landowners, and we've got volunteers, and we all need to be working together, and you know, not against each other, and I think that's a really good example of it.
Yeah.
So you walked away from that one. That was a really positive feeling.
Yes.
Have you done any more like independent ones yourself, where you've just been out on a walk and noticed a few things that you could do there and then?
Yes, I always carry secateurs in my rucksack wherever I go.
Excellent.
And I always have a quick lop when there's like brambles or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, around where I walk most mornings, there's areas. I was actually walking down one this morning and thinking, right, I'm gonna come back next week. I'm going to book a day and I'm going to take the edges off the trees.
Yeah.
And I've done quite a few footpaths near us. And
Brilliant.
a dog walker yesterday, and she said, you know, we're really lucky to have you here.
Oh,
because
that's
we
so
couldn't.
nice.
I know. So we couldn't walk that path
Yeah.
before, and I went down and hacked it all back. So, yeah, it's really nice that people are noticing what you're doing.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
appreciating
That's
what
it.
you're doing.
It only takes a few seconds to say thank you.
Yeah.
And also what you're actually doing, and sometimes I don't think we appreciate this, is you're representing us. So
Yes.
you are representing Hampshire County Council, the access team, the volunteering side of that. And I think that's really important for people to see, because still don't think a lot of people actually know rights of way, and if you can help in a right of way. I think that's a bit of a grey
No.
area. I think people don't realise there's an access team out there with volunteers.
No, you're right.
So you
Yeah.
actually represent quite an important thing. You know, if people ask you, how did you do this? You know, people do strike conversations up, and then
Yes.
you've begun to promote us. And
Yes, I have been asked by a
oh, have
couple of
you?
people.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But yes, it is nice to be able to for people to know that you can do these things, and yeah, it's made a difference. So I think a lot of people that they've asked about, you know, where did you volunteer or how did you find
Yeah.
out about that, and things like that.
Absolutely. I just think, you know, you do represent a really important proportion of our society. You're proving that you can put your mind to anything. You can take on any task. There is always a job for everybody
Yes.
on a volunteer task. I think that's really important to mention now.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Whether you're worried about carrying heavy things, or you feel like you don't do DIY at home so you won't be useful, that's completely not accurate, is it?
No.
Because we'll find a job suitable for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're not strong enough to pick up some of the wood that we were doing, and one of them, you know, there's a wheelbarrow that needs moving, and it can come down empty if that's all you can do. You
Yeah.
can just bring an empty wheelbarrow down. That's all you can do, but that's brilliant.
It's help.
Because yes, somebody has to do that.
Absolutely.
So you are helping the whole time. So
Thank you
Yes.
so much. One more thing, is there anything you're particularly looking forward to within your role? Do you think, you know, obviously more volunteer tasks, that kind of thing, but is there anything else that you'd like to try and get involved with within the volunteering world, as it were? Where do you see yourself going with this? Or are you quite content with what you're doing, how often jobs are coming through, etc.?
I probably would like more jobs, more of the
Okay.
independent ones.
Okay.
Because I like to be able to go off on my own, and I mean, I'm finding new paths.
Yes.
Which is it's really nice. You go to a different area and you see the area, and that's really nice. So, but the group tasks are really lovely, because you all get together, and you know, it's just the chat and meeting different people, and that sort of thing is lovely. It's really nice to meet different people, and you know, as you said before, they're all coming from different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
So they've all got different stories, which is fascinating.
Absolutely. And you possibly could meet friends through them. You never know.
Exactly.
never
So I think
know.
some volunteer groups have a walking group as well.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Which is just lovely to see people bond like that over, you know, we all have those similar visions, don't we, and those similar, you know,
Yes.
interests.
Yeah.
One more question before we leave you. Has there been a highlight so far of your year volunteering with us?
It would have to be Hurstbourne Tarrant.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were chatting about it at home. My daughter said, "Well, you loved Hurstbourne Tarrant, didn't you?" I was like, "Yes, I did. Everything about it. It was such a joyous day. I mean, the weather was amazing.
It was. We were lucky, weren't we? Yeah.
We were, and you know, as I said, for sitting for lunch and just looking at the beautiful views, and then working with like-minded people, it was lovely.
Thank you so much for coming out to speak to us.
You're welcome.
And hopefully, if you're listening to this now and you're interested in volunteering, what would you say to people who are interested but on the fence and not quite sure it's for them?
Just try it once. If you don't like it, you never have to do it again, do you?
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah. You've all got skills that you can do, which nobody else, you know, other people haven't got. Just try it.
Thank you. We'll leave it on that brilliant positive note. Thank you, Judy, so much.
You're welcome.
It's been great to hear about the work of the path wardens. They and the rest of our volunteers do an amazing job of helping us look after nature.
Oh, they absolutely do. Like, things would take so much longer if we didn't have all these wonderful people come and help us do things. And it really helps engage, I think, the members of the public to, well, specifically the access team and rights of way, but on a broader note, volunteering can be enjoyed by everyone, and it's really important.
It can. So we've got a great number of volunteers that come out and help us maintain our countryside. They come out and do loads of different jobs. But do you know how many volunteers we have that give up their time to help us?
Oh, good question. 900.
You're close, But we actually have 1,211 volunteers, and that number goes up daily.
Wow.
And they give us an amazing 8,000 hours of their time each month to help us maintain our countryside.
That is incredible. And as I said, we really couldn't get as much done if it wasn't for them. And I think those hours speak for themselves.
They certainly do. So we hope you have enjoyed this episode of Looking After Nature. We'd love to hear from you with any comments or thoughts, or if there's anything else you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. You can let us know by checking out our social media pages.
And we'd really appreciate it if you'd rate and review our podcast on iTunes, as this helps other people find us. But for now, thanks for listening. I'm Gemma Clinch.
And I'm Carly Harrod. See you next time.